Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. Feels like a long week, but a good week. I'm smoking some jarred up Germain's Rich Dark Flake. Which is just a wonderful tobacco. It's wonderful. Well, I'm in relax mode. I've been burning the candle at all ends, probably burning it in the middle as well. But it means that this week's pipes, I've got more than one or two pipes to show you, which is pretty good. And only one of them is a commission, so 3 of these are available. This is like unheard of availability. This is a billiard I made quite a few years back now. I made it when I was still in the Pipe Makers Guild. Hi to members of the Pipe Makers Guild that were Mike Couch, Phil Rivara, Scott Harris. If you happen to scooch by this video while you're on the YouTube, drop in and say hi. All right. Got my pipe, got my coffee. I'm going to drink a bit more of. Okay, let's have a look at some pipes. I'll show you the commission first. Here's a black sandblast Viking horn, which is a shape that I make quite a lot. It is, I would say, very popular. I've made it with mother of pearl resin. Which is not a resin I have made available yet. It was a resin that I started making quite a few years ago. Say resin, I suppose I should say the pigment that you colour the resin with. I used it in a previous resin, but it wasn't playing very well with the new resin. So it took me a little time to iron the kinks out, but I think I got there now. So as you can see, it's like a pale colour, but it refracts green. It also refracts purple. You can see a bit of it just there on the top. But it's all about how the angle of light hits it. A nice little blast on this guy. You can see the ring grain coming through. And the straight grain actually is reasonably tight. It also gets a little bit of blue in there. It's all going on that one. So there you go. Black Blast Viking horn with mother of pearl stem. That is a commission and will be going off next week. Still have some shipping issues. They're not as bad as they were, but I've been using UPS almost exclusively now since January. Before that, I was using Royal Mail, but they were having issues. Now UPS is having issues, and one pipe that was meant to go to the States has twice been sent to their warehouse in Germany for some reason. It's literally gone from the UK warehouse to the German warehouse, back to the UK, back to Germany. I think it's finally on its way to the US now, but I do not know what they're playing at. I do not know. I'm thinking of going back to Royal Mail and seeing what's happening with them. Sending stuff within Europe is extremely complicated now. I had a package I was trying to get to Belgium. Did not go well. Fortunately, it wasn't a pipe, it was just resin. But still. Aggravating, I might say. Alright, so the first of this week's available pipes. Right, I'm just going to get them out of the way. This is a black sandblast print. Which I happen to think is pretty cool. And I've done him with a cranberry oxide stem, just for a little splash of subtle colour. So that's obviously from the Eldritch vintage range. And I think this guy is 6 inches long, weighs 42 grams. And I think I measured the bowl as well at some point, which I think is, I think it's 1.7. Something like that. But anyway, he's got good walls. And that's what I like about the prints, is that they do, even for a small pipe, they've got, I say it's a small pipe, I suppose compared to what I quite often make to a Viking horn, for example, it's a small pipe, but it's a normal sized pipe. So there you go. The first of the available pipes, a black sandblast print with cranberry oxide stem. You might be wondering, how did I get such how did I put the pedal to the metal and get loads more pipes done this week? It was, I was test out a different way of working. I tend to just concentrate on one pipe at a time, whereas this time I was drilling a bunch of stummels, making a bunch of stems. I suppose you would call it batch processing, but it was interesting. I'm not sure it's the sort of thing I could do every week. In fact, I'm pretty sure most weeks I couldn't do it. But like I say, I was having to burn the candle at all the ends. But it was interesting. It was interesting to do. All right. Second pipe. A bit different. I think I had this shape available not too long ago, but in a very different finish. A tulip. Kind of my version of a cutty, but heavily stylised. It's got the same forward cant as the cutty. Have a look at the grain. I finished this guy in a tan sandblast, and the stem is pure bone. It's one of my resins, but the colour's called pure bone, rather than me making it out of bone. Yeah. There's no bone used in this pipe. You got this like heavily scooped rim, the shapely body. I don't think I've added this to my Poison Garden range, but it kind of is. It would fit in that category for me. This kind of like almost organic shape, which I like quite a lot. This guy has a tapered bowl, so it starts out at sort of like 19mm at the top, which is pretty standard, but then it tapers down, similar to the ones, the kind of chamber shape that I use in strawberries and acorns. It means that you've got a lot of meat to absorb the heat. It doesn't get too thin anywhere. This guy is 7 inches long and weighs 49 grams. So, still under the 50-gram threshold for being a clancher. Go, nice slender shank on this guy as well. If you're interested in any of these pipes, or in discussing a commission, the email is at the bottom in the description, so just wing me an email and we can have a natter. I think I need to tamp. The RDF, as it goes down the bowl, it really gets, it starts off really quite sort of flowery and ephemeral and strange, and it gets earthier and richer and deeper as it goes down. It's just an amazing tobacco flavour, no acidity, no acrid notes or anything like that, no bitter notes. It's like it's mellow, sort of overall it's mellow. It just gets kind of more bass notes, and I've always just liked like the volume of smoke that comes from RDF as well. You feel like you're like a dragon. All right, let's look at the last one. So yeah, it's another Prince. Slightly more rounded. I could almost be tempted to call it a squash tomato, that kind of shape, but it's still kind of like following my Prince lines. This time done in a contrast blast. Because the grain was so good on this one. It so nearly made a smooth. It was, I can't tell you how close it was. You could weep how close it was to being a smooth. But it makes a really lovely sandblast. Look at the ring grain. I mean, it's just so neat. And straight grain as well, really fine. This one I did with the Arcturian amber stem, which is also from the vintage Eldritch vintage. So you get that hint of translucency there. You can see the funneling inside, but it's not transparent, it's not clear. This guy is 6 inches again, and I think this one is slightly heavier than the other prints. It's 43 grams, but still well within the sort of clenching weight. It's well under 50 grams anyway. It's a chocolate and yellow contrast blast on this guy. There you go. Put them away. So yeah, what a busy week I've had. All right. All right. Oh, my watching tip for this week, or recommendation. If you've got Netflix, I've been highly enjoying Midnight Mass, which is no, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. It's a really good one. If you watched The Haunting of Bly Manor, or Bly House, no, it is Bly Manor. It's by the same writer, so it's in the kind of spooky horror vein. If you like that kind of thing, and you should, you'll enjoy this guy. All right, that is it for me. I think I'll be back for the next Listen with Eldritch. Almost certainly that'll be the next one. All right, so till then, take it very easy. A loyal pipe maker.